Recording.
Share screen. Sweet. Okay, y'all can see my screen, right? All right, good deal. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and start off the right way. So, because now it's not just for you guys anymore as members, it's really we share this on YouTube and so forth. So this is great. We're gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire, and I'm really here to bring about the greatest prosperity period in the history of this world by creating a million millionaires. I'm here to change people's lives, essentially. Today, the topic that I'll be discussing for our members area is going to be cultivating resilience in the face of adversity. I really love this topic right here because obviously everybody faces adversity in life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think it's really nice and good to really have an understanding of how, you can use that to your advantage. I think anything you understand, you can utilize. So I want to take the time to go through this. And as I'm going, just to make sure this is really effective, if there's any specific questions you have, please jump in. That way I can make sure I answer that question for you because above anything is understanding. That's what's most important to me. I don't want to just dictate here. If I got something, when I'm sharing, if you have questions, just jump in, okay? All right. So with that being said, understanding the impact of adversity and its impact. So definitely as far as adversity in itself, when I talk about adversity, I'm talking about dealing with unfavorable, disruptive circumstances that basically break you out your routine of life. You know what I mean? Like obviously we're creatures of habit. So we have our way of doing things on a regular basis. So anything that throws us out of that, it really disrupts us. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about adversity, challenges, basically. The emotional tolls, a couple ways that you can really find yourself just figuring out like, the impact it's having on you is like an anxiousness. Like if you find yourself just being anxious all the time, find yourself, just being like angry, you don't even understand why you're angry. You know what I mean? It's like life circumstances, man, it could do that to you, it can make you like frustrated. All those different things is that those are some of the emotional side effect of adversities. Psychological effect obviously over time is that there's physical effect, people like mine definitely affect your physical. So it's like, oh, after a period of time is that, like I know in the past, I speak for myself, I've lost 20 pounds before just dealing with adversities. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so stressed out, worried about stuff, trying to figure stuff out. So the psychological effect eventually can also lead to like the physical effect and obviously disrupt your regular routine of doing things. Coming to the importance of resilience, though, the importance of it is like obviously the challenge that you have. Again, I always say it every day in my videos is that it's really there to shape you and mold you into being the amazing human being that God have created you to be, man. Without adversities, you cannot grow, people. Like you want to start looking at adversity different. You know what I'm saying? It's like instead of looking at all the negative effects that you normally experience from it, I want you to really treat adversity like it's your best friend because it's like going to the gym. When you go to work out, if you don't tear muscle, you won't gain muscle. Same thing with adversity here is that if you don't face challenges, resistance is how you grow. So adversity is forms of resistance. Okay. So whether in a storm, that's how you grow essentially. Without that, you can't grow. Um, as far as like inspiring others, like obviously, by you just going about just really like the way you handle your adversity, like the challenge of life, that in itself can help others. You know what I'm saying? Because them just watching you deal with everything that life throws at you, and you still keep moving forward, you still keep pressing forward, you know. Um, Developing a resilient mindset. I don't want to get off too much into reading this, but I'm just saying in general, it's like you really want to cultivate the mindset that, regardless of what you're dealing with, it's like, you really, you can't give up that you can't give into the challenges that's coming at you, basically. It's like you really want to get to the point where it's like you develop the mindset that no matter what come at you, you're gonna give it your best shot. You're gonna push forward and you're gonna overcome it. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's coming to you, you're gonna overcome it, regardless of what it is. But you're gonna cultivate a resilient mindset. Is very crucial to navigate your way through adversity, basically. Coming up here. Emotional intelligence. I mean, I don't want to go. Basically, guys, it's like I'm just trying to share with you. It's like when it comes to adversity, it's just really coming back to the basics. It's just really looking at it from the standpoint that it's really there to shape and mold you. I mean, keeping it really simple is that I really want you to just really look at it like it's a good thing. You know, it really is though, because it's like life is nothing but your perspective, right? So it's like if you focus on it from a negative point of view and all you see is the negative result that you get from it, then it's like all you get is more of that. So it's like intentionally forcing yourself to really intentionally choosing to only see the fact that it's really there to help you to shape your mold into be better version of yourself. Again, if you have any specific questions as you go, just jump in. All right, Jaleel, look like you got something over there. All right, no problem. All right, so anyways, come back to this here. Strategies for stress management, mindful practice. Definitely one of the things you want to do is just really like when you're faced with like things that stress you out, is just really just the breathing exercise. I give you guys the example of that before in the past. Just really just being present to that moment, just taking deep breaths, and just really relaxing yourself, man. It's like um it's crazy. It's like right now, guys, like no be it's like it's crazy, guys. Right now, Jalil, if you get all right,
So I have a question for you.
go for it,
Can
please.
so does that ISO tank work for you then for distressing or
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
the isolation tank? Does that isolation tank you mentioned, does that work for your de-stressing or?
Oh my God. Like I'm telling you, it's like just being real with you, man. It's like the routine that I go through and so forth, like without that isolation tank, it's hard to keep that together. I'm telling you, like my routine, my day start Monday through Friday at 3:30 in the morning. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. You see what I'm saying? I
So am
remember when I
I.
couldn't
So
get up past 6 o'clock, and go from 6 o'clock to 5 and then 4:30. And now I'm at 3:30 every morning. I'm up by then. And it's like I have a specific routine that I must follow in order to manifest the things I want, right? And that creates stress. That is adversity in itself, people. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing your body, pushing your mind to be able to handle the things you need to do. The isolation tank, though, coming back to this, though, is that it really allowed me to like empty my mind. It's like it allows me to really just my mind goes blank. That's what I love about it. I remember the
so
first time I went in there. I started going to the isolation tank maybe about 4 months ago, right? And it's like I remember the first time I was there. That was the first time that my mind has ever been blank. It's like most days, think about it. You got a million things going on. You got work, you got kids, you got all kinds of stuff coming at you. And it's like, you're constantly thinking about all those things you got to take care of, right? But it's like when I'm in that tank, there's nothing. There is literally, it goes to blank. It's a blank slate, literally. And then it's like the first time I struggled to come up with ideas. That's the first time I realized that I wasn't using my imagination to create the life I want, was the isolation tank. Was when I realized that I struggled to come up with ideas and thoughts. And I was like, oh my God, that's a muscle I really need to work on, is working on exercising my mind, my imagination. But I wasn't present to that until I got to the isolation tank. And then after the first time the next time I go, I was able to start think more and be more intentional in my thoughts. And it's like now it's at the point where I really look forward to it, because before I get in the tank now, I have a list of things that I want to go think about. You see what I'm saying? So by the time I go in there, it's like a bullet point. It's like, okay, I'm working on this, work on that. And next thing you know, by the time I get out of there, I solve a lot of the issues or dilemmas that I have by the time I leave the tank.
so it's like your desk.
Wait.
It's like a desk. It's another desk. It's like your day job desk, sort of. Your ISO tank. You
Well,
have a list of questions you bring with it. You bring it into
in
the
my
tank.
mind, though, I mean, to a degree,
In
but
your
in my
mind.
mind, it's like I have a checklist of things that I know that I want to
Sure.
solve, like problems or dilemmas that I'm having. I bring
Right.
my problems to the isolation tank, basically.
Yeah.
And it gives me the opportunity to really work on those things and solve those problems that might be stressing me out or whatever. Like, look, guys, at the end of the day, I'm a human being. I'm just like y'all, man. I'm figuring the stuff out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a human being, man, you know? And it's like, this is as real as it gets, man, is that, it's like, um, adversities, there's nobody that's immune to it, including myself. I face challenges just like you do on a daily basis. The only difference is that even though I face my adversities and challenges, I never cave into them. I keep pushing forward every single day. I give 100%. I leave it all on the field.
So
You see what I'm saying?
do you think that it would be, because you were talking about the physiological side to it, right? Like, so I guess what I'm asking is because I don't have an isolation tank. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably not going to get an isolation, but I do
Well, you don't
have,
need one. You really don't need to buy one. They have them. I actually go to a facility for that,
but
There's
I'm
and they
saying,
don't,
like, what
they're
if I
like
took a
$60
bath,
a session.
you
Like, they're pretty
know?
cool. They're really cool though. It's a great investment in yourself and
Yeah.
your peace of mind. I promise you. They got them all
Yeah.
over the place. My
Yeah,
brother
but
put
what if I just use like a bathtub? Do you know what I mean? Like, and just some, you know what I mean?
It's a lot different though. Like this one, the reason why it works is because you're literally
Okay.
suspended and you're floating and you have no, and it's pitch black. So it's
Okay.
like describing it to you. So it's like you have no awareness of where you are. So there's no distraction. It only allows you to be present to you. You know what I'm
Well, what
saying?
about a hot tub? What about
All
a
right.
hot tub?
Hey Lee, hey, I'm gonna leave that up to you. You can give that
All
one a
right, all
shot
right.
if you want to. I mean, hey, I'm just telling
ISO
you the
tank, ISO
isolation
tank,
tank. That doesn't
ISO
what I know. I
tank.
don't know
Got
how
it.
the bathtub work. I never tried that one, but an
Okay,
isolation tank though
got
is
it.
a good idea. You know,
Cool.
but really and truly though, I mean, just being real with you, man. It's like, listen, it's like life presents you with challenges, and like I said, there's no exception to this stuff. I mean, everybody face adversities. It's not the adversities that you face; it's how you handle them. You know what I'm saying? Do you let the situation of life burden you and cause you to deal with to absorb by anger or pain or any of that stuff? Or do you choose? See, that's easy. That's the easy natural reaction. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the adversity of life, the natural reaction is to quit, to flee. Like that's what it does. It's like it beats you down. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't persistently, mentally force yourself to find a positive in those instances, then that's going to be your result. You know what I'm saying?
And Coach Otis, so
Yes.
I know one thing that I do, I don't have an isolation tank, but I created an escape room for me where I'll go into a dark room and I made it my closet, and that's my room for me to really release. And sometimes it becomes my bathroom, like you said, where I take a bath and it's pitch black and I might put some meditation music on and I disconnect from the world. And I found out that as many times as certain things hit me, I have to go to my escape room. And sometimes it can
Okay.
be a couple times a day that I'm releasing, because what happens is when we hold on to these things that don't serve us, it's going to affect the part of our body that will serve us. And then we will start to deteriorate in that area, which will then affect another area. And then we will implode and then explode on people who
Yeah.
didn't cause the pain or trauma. And
Yeah.
so it's just so important to find out what works for you,
Yeah.
and get creative and have fun in saying, okay, I tried that, that didn't work. Okay, what's next? Okay, I tried that, that worked a little bit, but that's not it. The next one
Yeah.
might be your sweet spot. Once you find it, it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
That's what I
I,
do.
I,
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because that is true. You got plenty of other ways, Lee, that you can try out, right? Like, for example, like every single night before I go to bed, I meditate. I meditate laying down in my bed. I literally lay there. I put on my headphones. That way, it's like I tune out everything else, and I'm feeding my mind at a close range, and I'm really just intentionally thinking about the things that I want. Because here's why that's important. It's extremely important for you to do that, because what happened is your subconscious mind is the most productive when you're asleep. And see, here's the deal. If you go to sleep with negative and stress on your mind, then that's what your subconscious mind have to work with. And it's going to multiply whatever you give it. So what happened is the reason why I'm always meditating and visualizing the things that I want before I go to sleep, and I do that for a minimum of an hour every night. And what happened is whatever you've been thinking about, that's what is going to solve those dilemmas and those issues for you while you're sleeping. And next thing you know, you wake up the next morning with great ideas. You see what I'm saying? So that's one that you can use. Every single day I do that, literally 7 days a week. I literally do that, you know? And you got to realize too, it's like, obviously for your life to change, you got to program your mind. Like you got to change your mind, right? But how do you change it? It's like you literally got to program your mind from, you know, the way that it's naturally designed to be, which is to absorb nothing but negativity. That's natural. Like, let me tell you something. I don't watch news. I don't watch news because it's nothing but bad news. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's like I wish they would have a station that talk about good news and the good stuff that's happening in the world, but that ain't the case, unfortunately. So what happened is you have to be your source of positivity, because whatever you feed your mind is what your mind absorb, is what it acts on, is what it thinks about. So that's why I'm very protective of the things that my intake of information. You see what I'm saying? But it's like really and truly though, I mean, just conversationally and just being real with you, it's like, listen, man, this is a journey. It's a journey where, you know, it's like we're going against the norm. So of course that's a resistance, you know what I'm saying? Because all we talking and thinking about is positivity. That's not what we're programmed to do. You know what I mean? From we're little kids. We're programmed to find faults and negativity and complain. So it's like, you know, to constantly be thinking about the things you want, like that's not normal. But that have to become your normal in order for you to manifest the things you want in your life, and in order for you to be a happier person. You know what I'm saying? If you think about your problems all the time, guess what that does? It compounds your problems. Do you see what I'm saying? If you focus on the positivity though, and this is what I'm trying, this is where the work comes in, people. It's like you must take the time to practice this every single day. Practice this. You know what I'm saying? I've only been doing this now since December of 2021, like every day. But I'm telling you, it took me still, most of my development happened this year. Even though I've been doing this for over almost 2 years.
You
Do you
know
see
what
what
it is? If I could jump in,
Sure.
when you're thinking about what you want, manifesting and the positive affirmations and all of that, being that I have PTSD, right? So what it does, it triggers a lack mindset.
You said a lack?
Yeah. So like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be this, then it's like, oh fuck, I didn't check my bank account. Don't look like I'm gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? So it like loops it
Like
into,
sarcasm.
so
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's like to counteract that, like you said, that positive direction is against the grain. It is different. And I get that, and that is the work and all those things. But it does make you want to pick your poison for the day, at least for me.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for sharing that, Victoria. I really appreciate you sharing that, because that's real right there. I'm gonna share something with you, right? And I was talking to Jaleel about that. I think it was yesterday about this, about what happened is this. It's like with the affirmations that we say, right? It literally sometimes it could take you a year before you, first of all, it could take you 6 months to believe it. Some of my affirmation took me 6 months just to believe it. Now that means that I've been saying it every single day for 6 months straight, and I still didn't believe it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it takes that period of time sometimes for your mind to really absorb and start believing it, right? And then here's the thing with that. Even when you believe the things you're saying, here's the thing with that. All that simply means is that you simply believe that it's possible, but you still don't believe that you are that right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, here's what happens. So it's like there's levels of belief. It's like first you don't believe it and you affirm it every day. But it take you 6 months, a year for to be the world's first trillionaire was December, is not even a couple weeks ago. March 21st was the first time I really owned it, where I know it that I am that. I've been saying this dang thing for over a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? And I've been talking about it, but when I talk about it, here's the difference, and this is how you know when you know something, is that when you believe it, then you believe it to the point where you can talk about it in the third person. You talk about it as if something out there in the future, not right now. You see what I'm saying? So that's you believing. That's what belief gets you, is that now you can at least talk about it in the third person. Like, okay, yeah, one day, someday, you know what I mean? But it's not really real enough yet. It wasn't until March 21st when I actually own it and know it, that I am here to do the things I say I'm gonna do, that I am the world's first trillionaire. I'm creating the greatest prosperity period in the history of this earth. I'm creating a millionaire. Listen to me. It's no longer that I believe it. I freaking know it at this point. You see what I'm saying? And that's the point that you're going to get to. So I don't want you to beat yourself up, because the reality is it might take you 6 months. It might take you a year, Victoria, of affirming the things, the goals that me and you created before you start to believe it, much less knowing that it's going to happen. Do you see what I'm saying? Because
Thank
what
you.
you're doing is you're programming your mind, and that takes time.
Thank you. Mhm.
Hey, I'm just learning stuff as I go. I literally learned that 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of this journey.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, please.
What do you do for exercise and movement?
You said for exercising?
What do you do for exercise and movement? The number 2 on the strategies for stress management.
Gotcha.
What do
So
you-
pretty much what I do is, for me personally, what I do for the stress management is definitely going to the gym. So that definitely helps. So I go to the gyms 3 times a week, and that basically helps with for me, I swim. I either swim or work out. That's what I do. And especially swimming, there's something about it, man. It really helped me to relax, especially when I freestyle. It really, that exhaustion calms me down and let me just be in that moment. And then, of course,
Yeah.
hot tub, the sauna, and boom. By the time I take a shower and leave, I'm like, I needed this. You know what I mean? And I do that 3 times a week. It's like, that's you treating yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's
How
like,
often do you go to the isolation tank?
I do it every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks on Sunday, that's my treat to myself. Anything too quicker than that, they tell you, because it got a lot of magnesium, so you don't want to go too often, but every 2 weeks. And my body had to get used to that. I remember the first time I went, it took me about a month for my body to really recoup. But it was, ever since then, I've been going. And I've been going now for at least maybe 5 months or so, you know. But that right there for me, it's really awesome. I guess coming back to this though, like on here, time management, that definitely help as far as like just managing your time more effectively. You know what I mean? Like literally, in order for you to have an amazing routine, you must budget your time. You know what I mean? It's like in order for you to manifest the things you want, you must have a daily routine that's going to produce those things in your life, right? So it's like you heard me say I get up at 3:30, and I only did that because I've been studying like the markets, like stocks and trading and investing in the markets, and really understanding not just the US market, but the world economy. And I'm studying that. I literally spend half an hour every day as a part of my routine, learning that 7 days a week now. I just added that maybe about a month and a half ago or something like that, but it's within 2 months for sure. I just created that as part of my routine. But it's like you want to basically look at the goals that you're going after, right? Whatever they are, and then basically figure out what actions do you need to take on a daily basis that's going to help you to produce the goal that you want. And then whatever that is, as far as the reading part, here's the deal. Nobody learns in a vacuum. You must read, people. I'm learning this. Listen, for years, I didn't read. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, hey, I don't mind sharing the stuff with you, but I'm realizing I've learned more in the last 2 months than I've done in the whole last year. You see what I'm saying? Because as I read, I'm learning from other people's experience. That's the power of reading. You know what I'm saying? That I would not have had that experience unless I've watched the videos or read from these people. You know what I
So
mean? So either watch
can I
videos
ask
or read it.
can I ask you a question
Please.
about that
Of
for
course.
your
Sure.
lifestyle then? Because you meditate before bed. I'm assuming that's every night, and you read, and you mentioned doing 15 minutes a day
Affirmation.
of something. I don't remember, but I was wondering, is that the 15 minutes where you read?
I read my affirmations. That's different, but that's different. That's my daily
Okay.
routine. But the affirmation is just me painting a picture of where I'm going, which is,
Okay.
I'll go over that with you at some point. Now that you are a member, I normally take the time to go over that. and we'll go over that at some point, okay?
Okay.
But definitely sooner than later. So that's where we basically create the affirmations that's going to create the amazing life you want, and you read that 15 minutes in front of the mirror every single day. Tell you the truth, I mean, I know, I think I gave them last week, or there's a video where I specifically talked about affirmations. In one of the members area, you can see that one where strictly talk just about affirmations. So I think you can go read, watch that video, and that would be very insightful for you, because I literally read almost all of my affirmation doing that one. But time management, though, it's just, I really want you to be present to that you must create a routine for your time. What are you doing this period, It's like, what are you doing every half an hour, every hour block? But you got to find the time for you, though. It's like, of course, everybody got their regular stuff, their jobs, their other responsibility. But when do you take time for you and your development? It's really a legit question at this point. If you haven't been taking time for that, then I really want you to figure out where you're going to fit that time into your routine, because you're taking care of everybody else except who? The most important person here, yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like being on the dang plane. If the plane's going down, you can't save everybody. You're going to die. You put your mask on first, then you save people, because you'll be able to breathe. You know what I mean? You got to work on your self-development, man. Here's some of the benefits I can tell you about personal development that's priceless. Is that I've learned recently that the world mirrors you. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever you are on the inside is what reflects out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? I realized that the more I develop myself, the more successful my business get, the more motivated my employees get, the better my family life is with my wife and kids. It's like every single thing improves as you work on yourself, man. Like, I really want you to focus on that, like working on yourself. I know that time management run on a long tangent there, but it's a juicy one. All right. Anyway, foster a social connection. Definitely cultivate meaning relationships. Like, definitely, this is what this is for. Heaven on Earth International really is. I thought of this when I got into vision. It was more or less, creating a space where people can have conversations like this. Like, prior to Heaven on Earth International and my growth partners and so forth, I can't talk to most people about my goals and what I was going after. Because, back then I never really had that. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is, like, this is a space where I want people to be able to have conversation like this, talk about things you're working on, talk about where you're going, and nobody's here to judge you except to support and encourage you. That's what we're looking to do, people, is create an environment where we're doing nothing but inspiring and motivating people to go accomplish their goals and dream. So definitely cultivate meaningful relationship that feeds your spirit to help you accomplish your goals and dreams. Definitely. As far as like strengthening your professional ties, that's a given. Like I just shared with you, as you develop yourself, every area of your life that you look at, it changes. My work relationship is changing, my family life is changing, and it's a daily progress, people, is that you work on, every day, be intentional about making a change, basically. But come back to this, professional ties, that improves. Engaging community engagement, like really sincerely find ways to give back. This right here for me is a way for me to give back. Free membership. Listen, giving those daily videos every day. I know that this changed people's life. I don't need people to tell me that it does. I know it does. This is my contribution to the world. You have to find a way to encourage, to inspire, to motivate people, to help people to change their lives, man. And everybody got ways that they can do that. Who can't? Everybody can, So community engagement, find ways to do that. Let's talk about digital connection here, but either way, I guess that's what TikTok is for. And YouTube, to leverage that, to spread the message out there. Gotcha. Here's my favorite part, though, is really and truly, you got to embrace change, and you have to be adaptive. I mean, life is changing on a regular basis. So it's like you have to be adapting to whatever life throws at you. What are you going to do, people? You're not going to cave. That's for dang sure. Not in this group, you're not. You know what I'm saying? We're going to help you to make sure that you don't let the adversities of life beat you down. You're here to stand up and face all your challenges, all your problems, stand straight and freaking high and be like, look, man, I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. You got this, though. I know this. I know this to be true. You have this within you. The same greatness that's in me, the same God that's in me is the one that's in you, man. And the more you connect with that, then listen to me. I know it's in you already. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, come back to this flexible mindset. You definitely got to be able to adapt and relate, man. You always want to be flexible. Like whatever life throw at you, be adapting, relating, bobbing and weaving. All right.
I'm good at that.
You know, it's like you know, dealing with them. And mastering transition, but definitely changing, man. You got to embrace change and look forward to change. You know, it's like here's something else that I realized recently, and these are like bullet points that I'm just throwing to you. These are little nuggets that I've learned recently. Is that success is never a destination, people. You got to understand that it's not a destination. It's really look at success as your journey. Like I no longer look at a destination. I'm excited about everything that I'm dealing with. I'm excited about the challenges because if it's challenging, it's like you know that you're gonna grow from this. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the way I look at it, is that without challenge, how would you grow? Like seriously, ask yourself that. You can't grow without adversity. You cannot, you
It's
know?
true. It's true.
I mean, that's real. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you want to embrace change, be excited about, you know, everything that life throws at you because you're going to get away better from it. And here's something else that I realized too, is that life is nothing more than a cycle. You know what I'm saying? You got the ups, the downs, the hills and the valleys. You got the highs and the lows. You know what I'm saying? When it's high, it's like great. Life is amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is going your way. It's like, wow, this is awesome, right? And it's like when you're in the valley, that's when people get discouraged. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? It's like all this stuff, you know, stuff is not going their way. It's like, you know, when you go in the valley, though, it's like when you deal with the problems that you face in the valley, the next time you go to the next valley, you know what to do. Because why? You faced it, you solved it. You see what I'm saying? You faced it, you resolved it. So it's like the next time you see it, that's how life get easier, people. It only gets easier when you face your problems. Anybody that run from their problems, guess what? That problem follows you and it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Facts.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, why not face it now, especially in the beginning of your journey, so you can get it out the way? See, and then it's like, okay, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. That's what growing looks like. That's what it really physically look like, is you facing your challenges as you deal with them, address them, and grow past it. Literally, you know? Like it says here, there's opportunity and adversity. Opportunity for me is growing. That's what the biggest opportunity is growing. Um, yeah.
And
And definitely, go ahead, jump in.
yeah, and I know for me, because sometimes I get frustrated because it seemed like I stay in a storm. And then I had to ask the good Lord upstairs, what's going on with my life? And so one thing that I got is that you're not at the level that you want to be. And so to get there, the storms act as elevation. But here is the sweet spot. You'll enter into an era of your life where you'll have good things happening and not so good things happening. And the not so good things happening are preparing you for the next phase in your life for the good things to happen. And the good things that's happening is to soothe you while you're going through it. So sometimes you'll go through both at the same time, where I got some things, I got some wins in the midst of these losses that I'm taking, and the universe is just giving you that blend. And it's all about what you focus on. Because you can have 99 problems and one great thing happening, and that one great thing could totally annihilate the 99 bad things. But if you train your mind to focus on more of what's not happening right, what's not going right, more on comparing yourself to somebody else that has what you think that you should have, then you're doing it to yourself and you're in that self-sabotage.
It's like, hey, thank you for sharing that, Jaleel. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, like he said, you know, it's like, you know, people wonder a lot of times, like, why their lives don't change. And here's something else I figured out a while ago. This one was a good while ago. Is that, you know, like you said, whatever you focus on is what you're gonna get more of. You know what I'm saying? And it's like naturally an off a reflex. And if you think about it, you realize you do this right now. Hear me out on this, okay? It's like when any obstacle come, automatically, like reflexes, is your body say, okay, how did I do this before? Let me do that. That's what happens. If you keep doing what you've done in the past, how can you possibly expect a different outcome?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You have to
Yeah.
be conscious of your actions and stop yourself.
Mm.
When the adversity or the challenge come, you got to stop yourself and say, okay, great. How can I deal with this time? Now, it's all good that you've dealt with it that way before, but obviously you cannot do the same thing because obviously that never solved the problem the first time. It's not you wouldn't have the problem again, would you? You see what I'm saying? So it's like you got to think about, okay, what is my approach this time around?
Yeah.
You know? And I want you to keep changing things because that's what change is about. You tweak things, you keep changing things until you get the desired outcome. You keep making changes in your life until you get the desired outcome that you want. You know?
Yep.
Like, and it's like it's a combination of thing. Like our empowered mind system is not just a freaking thing that we're written up, man. Like this is how you literally change your life. You know, it's like learning and mastering and knowing that affirmation is one of the most powerful thing I hear ever people listen to. Words is how you create everything that you want, man. And it's like the words you profess, you got to become the words you speak. So first of all, you want to choose the words you speak very carefully about yourself. Even though you might have constantly, let's say 99 or 90 out of 10 times you did, the wrong reaction to things. Like Jaleel said, don't focus on the response you've done in the past. Who cares about the past? All that matters is the future. I ran a meeting a few days ago where it's like one of the things I think you should seriously do if you haven't done so yet is you got to make peace with your past. Like literally make peace with your past. Nobody that exists on this earth have lived the perfect life, including my dang self. So it's like anything that make you feel guilt or shame, you literally have to take the time and really deal with that. You have to face those because there's a lot of them in your life. If you're being honest with yourself, there's a lot of experience that make you feel guilty. You want to address them one by one. I forgive them. I forgive myself. I literally have to go there and be like, you know what? At that period of time, that was me back then. This is not me anymore. You know what I mean? And literally forgive yourself, man. Because if you don't forgive yourself, I want you to get this for a second. It's like those guilt hold you back from the new amazing life that you're creating. And until you deal with that, those guilts and shame will constantly be in the back of your mind that holds you back. I want you to release them. And the way you release them is you acknowledge it, that you did it. Hey, I did that back then. I'm not proud of it, but you know what? I forgive myself. And literally say the daggone words. I forgive myself for that situation and go literally list by list by list. Do that. And as you forgive yourself, what you're really doing is you're breaking that spiritual negative bond.
Mm. Yeah.
Release those negativity from your life.
Mm.
Yep. Yep, that's that.
Mhm.
All right, next one here. Okay, nurturing self-care practices. Okay, so first of all, like one of the affirmations I always have and give to people is that, hey, and I want you, and Lee, I want you to make sure you have this, please. I am grateful now that I love myself unconditionally and I take care of myself exceptionally well. Listen to me. That's one of my favorite affirmations, and I think about that one a lot more often now than I ever did. I remember at one point I would take care of everybody else except for myself. I want you to find ways to take care of yourself and love yourself. Like really, the isolation thing, that's for me. You know what I mean? That's something that I purposefully want to do and I really truly enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have to find more things like that. Like literally, I have a quest where one of my affirmations is that I'm constantly finding things that truly makes me happy and adapting and rewarding myself as I continue to grow. So I use the things that I see that I like and I reward myself as I continue to grow. Does that make sense? That way, it's a motivation where every time you grow, you treat yourself, you know? But it's like a reward. It's like I'm working on rewarding myself. So you want to figure that out. But come back to mindfulness though. Mindfulness is really making sure that you're taking care of your mind, man. The meditation thing, meditate all the time. Anytime you find yourself being stressed out or whatever, I legit want you to stop what you're doing. If you got to sit in your car, turn your phone off, and just really do those deep breath exercises. I know I've done them on here several times where you breathe in 7 through your nose, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and release in 8. You do that as many times as you need to until you feel your heart rate slow way, way down, where you really relax so you can be present. So that's that mindfulness, like really being cautious, being careful with your mind. Okay, damn it, it says it right there. Meditation and breathing exercise. It says it right on there too. You know, but literally I do that though because I know that really clears my mind. You want to do that. Physical activity, we already talk about that. Exercise, and listen to me. It's like motion build emotions, you know what I'm saying? And it's like if you don't physically find a way to exercise and really, take care of yourself physically, then what that leads to, it leads to mental drainage because it's like, you're not really, it's like they go hand in hand. The more physically aligned you are, like getting in shape, staying in shape, it really helps you to think. And drinking a lot of water, people. Drink a lot of water, especially in the morning time and nighttime. I keep a thing of bottle of water right by my bed because why? I figured out that when you're hydrated, your mind can think more freely. It's something about it. The dang thing works. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Go ahead and drink a lot of water. It works. Okay. And of course, making sure that relaxation is a priority. Like find time for yourself to relax, especially after a long day. It's like, when do you take the time to decompress? You know what I'm saying? Don't go burning the clock out because now you're going to burn yourself out in no time, you know? So really find time and space for yourself, though. I really want you to do that. Overcoming setbacks and bounce back. Okay, so obviously we heard the cliches: get knocked down 8 times, get up 9. People, it's not just a slogan, man. In life, it's like, look, here's the deal. Here's the way I look at it. I look at it that time is going to pass anyways, right? Now you can either just go with the flow and don't be intentional and you just get mediocre change result, or you can be intentional and aggressively pursuing working on yourself so that as time passes, you're growing and getting closer to the things you want. I mean, the time's gonna pass anyways. Why not use it to your advantage? You see what I'm saying? Like, I really want you guys to be present to that, man. I really want you to be present to that. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, really be intentional. And it's like, no matter what obstacles come your way that knocks you down, listen to me. Just always trust and believe that everything is going to work itself out. Nick, it's good to have you on, buddy. You know? So it's like I really want you to be aware of that and just really don't get too caught up and just be knocked down. Just realize and take the opportunity to always know that things are always going to work itself out, and that will lead you to you coming back, bouncing back, basically. All right. All right. Let's see here. Cultivating resilience is a lifetime journey. I mean, like I said before, it's like, success or happiness or any of the things that you want is not a destination. You have to get that to be a part of your present routine. You got to be present to that. Is that making sure that you realize that the journey is the goal. The journey is the success you want. Don't, just embrace every day for what it is. I don't care how bad it gets or how good it gets. I'm still the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because once you get past the fact that, listen, success is the daily routine that you're doing, then you just get present to that and focus on just doing that. And as long as you give 100% every day, seriously, think about this. All you can give is 100%. If you give 100%, regardless of whether you win that day or you lose that day, did you not give 100%? What more can you expect from yourself? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Like, I want you to be okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Whatever the outcome is, just be okay with that and just focusing on just developing yourself every single day, though. You know? If you got any questions for me before we split, definitely now's a good time. This can be about anything, things that you're stuck with, or just, things that you want to work on, or whatever the case is. I'm here for you. I mean, we got about 14 minutes before we got to split.
Well, I'm working on my art, putting together, because I'm leaving to Puerto Rico for a
Are you
month.
going to Puerto Rico for a month? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you
Yeah. So, my funds is always funny. My money's always funny. So what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna probably do like a vlogging kind of journey on this stuff, on my growth. Just kind of reeling in the community, onto the journey, sharing my story. But I thought of a little side thing is since I like to draw and I'm an aspiring artist, and ultimately I would like my monies to come from my art as far as so that I can travel, I can do things until my bigger goals, you know? So I'm putting an Etsy together. I scanned in my uh drawings, and I'm still a novice artist, but I am an artist. I claimed it. And then people could just download it digitally. As far as the piece, it supports my journey. They get a piece, but then as I go evolving and I aspire to have more places to draw and being in Puerto Rico and the growth journey and all the things intertwined, my art should evolve as well. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
here's what I say about that, right? I think it's a great idea to really track your journey because that's essentially what I'm doing. Like, I mean, if you look at my first video last year to right now, it's a big difference. And I'm working on myself every day. So the fact that you're doing that for yourself and you're sharing that with people, whether you know it or not, you're inspiring people just like I'm doing that for others. You know what I'm saying? And that's again a good thing. And whatever
Yeah.
comes after that, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? As far as the money and income streams and so forth, like a lot of things that I'm working on right now is, like a lot of the things that I'm working on is figuring out ways how eventually to either hire people or share other opportunities, like maybe, how they can learn from other people that I'm learning from, maybe like how to invest, study, practice, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many other different things that you could do. But the trick is that, like, just like I told you, I'm doing with trading right now, right? Like it's been about a month or so that I've been learning it, right? Now I haven't put a damn dime in there yet because I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to study and figure it out and be comfortable with before I put my money in it, right? So what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say to you is that with you, this is part of your journey. Let's say it's arts. Like, what are you doing with that? Like, you got to find a mentor. Find somebody that's crushing it in the game when it comes to that. Somebody that's doing what you want to do. Find a mentor, figure out what they're doing, learn from what they're doing, and then duplicate it. You know what I'm saying? Because it works. You don't need to invent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, you really don't, though. You really don't need to invent the wheel, man. So it's
Yeah.
like for you, your
I'm
business,
doing it simple, digital, mobile. I want it to be a part of my flow of my day, what I do already. And also it's practicing the vulnerability to get out of my little comfort zone I've been in by sharing myself. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I've been throwing some TikToks up, um, processing, the little nuggets I've gotten along the way, sharing it. So I'm
yeah.
excited. I think it's an alignment for the month while I'll be in Puerto Rico. I can keep it going and
Are you gonna make some sketches? Are you gonna sketch when you're down there?
oh yeah,
Some
absolutely. So I chose charcoal as my medium because it's nice and simple. And I already have some stuff scanned in on Etsy. I just gotta put it live. And it's just like I said, $1 download, but I'm gonna make it like a limited. So after 500, then it's done because I really think I have the potential to really be an impactful artist. So this beginning journey would then be artwork that I'm hoping in the future would be of value. So I'm
Hey,
kind
I
of
love it.
also looking long term for it. So I'm only making like 500 downloads per image. Then I'm shutting it down, and then I'm gonna
Hey,
keep on building. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And Puerto
listen to
Rico
me.
really inspired
I'm
me. So
excited for you. I'm excited for you because listen to me. As you're talking, what you're doing is you're speaking it into being. You're literally creating it. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? We're listening to you, and I feel it, and I believe in you that you're more than capable of doing that. And I know you will do it. Forget capable. I know you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because you just profess it. You know what I'm saying? It's like prophesying. Affirmation is like professing the things you want. And because you say it boldly, that's the other thing too, though. You know what you just said that's very powerful? Is a lot of time people stunt their blessing because they scared of what people would think. Let me tell you something. One of the biggest and easiest way for you to change is stop caring what people think. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Just
yeah,
do you, focus on your own growth and progression. And
yeah,
listen to me. At the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is yours. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
literally.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
express yourself. And like I said, that vulnerability thing, listen to me. I have no problem showing you my weakness, my strengths, my faults, all of that. Why? Because that makes me stronger in the end. because I
Yeah, and I'm
express
trying to get
myself.
out of the
I get it
environment,
out
you
of there.
know.
It's in the
Yep, I
space
want to get out
out
of my
there.
environment.
So
Yeah.
embrace that. That's a strength,
Yeah.
not a weakness. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
So it's like while we got it, it's like for you, Lee, what you got? What you working on? What's the deal?
Well, I wanted to jump in real quick with
Go for
Victoria
it.
and just give
Mhm.
you a good challenge. So I want you to speak those things that are not as if they were. One thing that you said subconsciously, you said my money is always funny. Now, listen,
It
now
is.
it's power in your words. And so you
Thank you.
have the ability to not come in alignment with what's your temporary reality. So if that's not what you agree with, don't ever say that out your mouth. And
Thank
Okay.
you.
so it goes back to your affirmations. What are you affirming? Are you affirming that you're this great artist? Are you affirming that money comes to you supernaturally? Are you affirming these things? Because what is in front of you right now, I'm telling you, it is temporary and it's a temporary test for you. When you pass the test, it ain't going to be funny. But when you start declaring that my ends meet well, when you start declaring that I have more than enough, that my money flows in abundance, then the universe will give you a test to see if it stays the same, how is your countenance going to be? Can you encourage yourself through it? Can you motivate someone else through it? And when you pass that test, then here comes the avalanche of abundance. So I don't ever want to hear you say again, my money is funny, because what's understood don't need to be explained. Let's
Although,
speak life into places that we want to seek until we see
Amen.
what we said.
but you
Yep.
know what? In her case, she has a
Yeah.
benefit. This is something really interesting, just listening to everybody, because you said when you think of things, you also think of its opposite, right? So if you're self-talking that your money is funny, for you, you're also encapsulating that it's not funny. And so for you, it's never going to be one thing. It's going to be for you to see both and then what you actually choose out of it, regardless of your self-talk. I'm
For
just
sure.
saying for you specifically, that's a very different lesson than I think a lot of people have, right? It's not just saying, "Oh, I think I'm wonderful." Because you're not hearing that you're wonderful. You're hearing that you're wonderful and you're not wonderful simultaneously, correct? Like at one time. And so for you, you're like, well, I'm just trying to get out of hearing two things at once. And
Keyword
I
is
think
choosing.
that's what Jalil's
Choosing.
saying is that, if I said your name correctly, that it's the self-talk in those in-between moments. And I hear that a lot with tarot readers, because they'll do readings and they'll be like, well, I don't know. And it's like, well, you do know. Do you know what I'm saying? But you're choosing the I don't know, regardless of what you're hearing. Regardless if you're telling yourself in your particular instance. I was just thinking that. I'm like, wow, that's so different. That must be so different, like more than what most people, it's not even just self-talk. You're literally dealing with Taoism. Like there's a whole religion based on what you're what you go through. It's Zen Taoism.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Finding what things aren't and what they are.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, and the whole idea of this is this, though. I want everybody to get this part of it. Everything we're talking about is nothing more than ideas. You understand that, right? And at the end of the day, it's your interpretation that what matters. You know what I'm saying? And it's your choice. It's like everybody, every what you're saying, it's like there's rights and wrongs, and they're not rights and wrong, but it's like there's things you could take away from everybody what everybody is saying,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
But at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, it's like all I'm trying to get at is this. I'm gonna focus on the things that you say you're gonna do and declaring with the arts and so forth. I see that. See, when you speak these things into being, I get it. And I also get what Jaleel's saying too, though, about the kind of, like when it comes to money and stuff, he's dead serious about it. Like I'm telling you, that's real as day, okay?
Yeah.
Is like I'm gonna get, and here's one of the ways you can understand this. It's like our eyes deceive us. Let me explain. What you see, the difference between part of that growth that we're talking about, the journey that you're on, is to be able to see with only your mind. Like what I see is not my present circumstances. Because if you see your present circumstances, then you're going to focus on your present circumstances, and then you're going to get more of the same. So it's like, even though you're experiencing certain reality, you have to, the work comes in is just focusing on, instead of looking at that, looking at what you want. Like what I'm saying to you right now is focusing on doing them arts, like you said, getting out 500 pieces. Like if you focus on that all day, if you focus on that, every time you think about lacquer, you think about that, I'm gonna get them 500 pieces gone. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like that becomes the focal point. And what happens is the more you think about it, the more ideas that comes to help you manifest that. So don't trust only your eyes. I'm saying your eyes just give you it's lag basically. It's like a lag time. It's
That's
like
why I'm going to Puerto Rico. I want to change my environment so that I could just do a full recalibration. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it. Hey, whatever works, man. That's the beauty. You created that. You know what I'm saying? You made that up and you're doing it. Like, give yourself some credit. I think that's amazing. I think that it's awesome that you're uprooting your life and you're going there, you're trying something new. That's how you change your life. Keep trying new things. You realize that your life ain't changing the way you want to be in your predicament right now. So you're physically uprooting yourself and trying some new stuff. I think that's amazing, and I applaud you for that. Keep going on that path. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be
Of
nice. It's going to be nice.
course it
So,
is. Beautiful
yeah, it's
weather,
nice there right
you know,
now.
beach, all that stuff. I think that's freaking awesome, you know? All right, so for you, Lee, like I want everybody to have something that you're sharing that you're gonna be working on. So, and I think I want you to be bold and declare the things you want. So
Well,
it's like
I'm
what you
bold and
want.
declaring that I got problems because I'm taking courses. I'm getting a degree, and I'm just having a hard time with the college. They're having a hard time signing me up. So I'll be bold if I could even get them to do what they need to do tomorrow and just, you know what I mean? Like I always get the special treatment for whatever reason. Like they couldn't treat me like every other student, but it's cool. So, I have to transfer my transcripts, and they did, but then they use parchment and they won't transfer fast enough, but the counselor will do it early. So I'm waiting on an email so I can start this course. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like what you're saying about the adversity. I mean, quite frankly, at this time, I'm just giving it to God. I'm going to just, you know what I mean? Not get bent out of shape and just call the registration tomorrow and be like, where's my email so I can take,
Consistency. I got you. It's
Nah.
gonna work. And the key is like, just with anything, man, it's just persistence. Persistence, is just keep
Yeah.
pushing forward until that becomes your habit where you become a relentless person. You know what I mean? It's like everybody on this group call right now, it's like really that's the biggest thing that you're doing is you're changing one of the new habits you're creating is to be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? Where you become unstoppable. Like literally facts. Okay. That's what's
But I'm
happening.
trying to be nice. That's the thing. I was trying to not be that person. Do you know
Be
what I mean?
quiet. Just when you're going, bring something fun to do because you're gonna wait a lot.
I know. I'm
And
trying not to go crazy at the admissions office, like
It's gonna work out though. I know it will. Work out. I know you're gonna be persistent. You're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? I got you.
I will. I will.
I
I'll
know
just
you
sit
will.
down in class, even if they don't let me sign up for it. I'll just show up.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Unstoppable right there. They got to sign you up then, right? Amen to that. Jaleel, what you got?
No. Add my name, dude. Yeah.
Just boldly declaring. I'm telling you this, man. It's like, the more bold you are about the things you want, then the more you will see start attracting them and it become more real for you. Because when you can confidently say to people the things you want, like literally think about it. It's like regardless, I don't care if a person is homeless. I believe that I can make that person a millionaire within 5 years. Facts, because of their mentality. Now, of course, like I said, it's gonna be, the first 6 months or a year, they might not even believe it. Like, dude, that's unrealistic, that's crazy, whatever the case is. But you say it anyway, right? And then eventually you get to the point where you say it with confidence. Hey, I'm a millionaire before it happened, because you're not depending on your eyes, you depend on your mind higher and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's just, I just want you to get in the habit of just really declaring what it is that you want. Because if you're scared and shy about what you want, don't be upset when the things you want are shy and shy away from you. You know what I'm saying? You know? So with that being said, Nick, man, first of all, bro, it's good to have you on the call with us, man. But for you this week, like, what are you up to, man? Like, what are you working on? What's something that you're pushing towards?
Well, first of all, thank you guys too. And awesome for everybody else. I'm too a little bit unorganized right now. I was just kind of I didn't have a notepad or a notebook. But yeah, just I don't know, everything was all good. That's why I said congratulations to Victoria, and then just now with Lee. But you said when he was talking about persist and be relentless and unstoppable, you were like, but I want to be nice. And I was thinking right away, I was like, you can do that and be nice. You can kick ass and still be nice. It's you can be kind. You just gotta follow your soul and heart and what you're trying to do, and go to it. Even if you come off a little bit cocky sometimes, you just gotta stay with that confidence and stay focused on what you're trying to do, and the right ones will follow, and don't worry about the rest. Just focus on your intentions. But as far as me, I got too many things to discuss with you guys on the short amount of time we got going on. So basically, we just moved, so I'm going through a bunch of stuff and moving things and going through it, sorting it, trying to get rid of as much as I can. So that's it.
Hey, no worries, man.
Congratulations on the move. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if nothing else, Jaleel, I'm gonna give you an opportunity too. But if nothing else, man, it's personal development and self-development. It's like, like you should always find things personal that you can work on. Like right now, it's like I'm really working on restoring integrity with myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm got stuff I'm working on. As far as like going through and just really forgiving myself for things in the past. That's what I was talking about. I'm saying you got to find things that you're working on. Always have something that you're working on for yourself to get yourself to the next level, man.
Yeah,
And that's what
absolutely.
the self-development, personal growth. Jaleel, you got anything you want to share?
Yeah, I'm working on making amends to those who have hurt me and who have wronged me, and to the people that I've hurt and that I wronged. Just making an amends that it doesn't just stay in my inner subconscious and sabotage me or hinder me with the things that I want to do. So
Thank you for sharing, man. That's awesome. And look, man, that's what it's about, guys. It's really because the truth is that everybody out here that hear this stuff, they all going through similar situation, but just don't really even understand or know what to do about it. Do you realize that you sharing what you share is changing a lot of people's lives? Because you're asking questions and talking about things that they don't even know how to even begin that conversation. And now you're giving them tools and ideas that they can literally use practically right now to change and transform their lives. So you're being a blessing by being on these calls, because every time we do these weekly webinars, believe me, like people spend hours watching this stuff, man, and just learning and evolving. Like I said, though, and seriously, I want you to hear this. It's like, be bold about the things you want in life. As you leave this call and you go about your week next week, I want you to start being bold about these things, because that's how you create the new you. You know what I'm saying? And bless others in the meantime. All right. It's after 7 o'clock. I just noticed it.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you next week.
It's been awesome. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed this as usual. All right.
All right.
Take
Bye.
care. All right. Bye now. Bye-bye.